In this session, we would be learning preparation of trial balance. So in the previous session, we've discussed in detail how to go about preparing final accounts in a sole trader. And then we saw that preparation of final accounts in a firm can be initiated only with the preparation of trial balance. So in this session, we would be learning preparation of trial balance, how to go about with the preparation of trial balance. So in that line, let us have some discussion about what is meant by trial balance. So trial balance is a prerequisite for preparation of final accounts. I'll repeat that. Trial balance is a prerequisite for the preparation of final accounts. You cannot prepare your final accounts without trial balance. Then trial balance is a summary of all the ledgers in a business. I'll repeat that. Trial balance is the summary of all the ledgers in a business. So all your ledger balances you're picking up, you're writing that in one single place. So what exactly do you write down in your trial balance? Remember, when we were preparing ledgers at the end of regular intervals, we were balancing. Okay, we would find out which side is more. Debit side is debit side more, or is the credit side more, or are they both equal? So at the end of the financial year, the accountant will close all the ledgers, and whatever balancing figures he gets there, those balancing figures will get picked up and they would all get written down into one single place, and that's one single summary that you write down of all these balances is what you call as the trial balance of a firm. Okay, so this summary that you write of all the balances in a firm in one single place, that is called as the trial balance. So it reflects the balancing figures of all the ledgers in a business. So it usually gets prepared at the end of the financial year. Okay, it usually gets prepared at the end of the financial year of the business. Now, one important aspect that you have to remember is trial balance has got two important parts. One part is your debit balance, the other part is your credit balance. So debit must be equal to credit. I'll repeat that. Debit must be equal to credit. So whenever you prepare your trial balance, the debit effects must be equal to credit effects. So in that line, let us talk about the format of the trial balance. Okay, let's talk about the format of the trial balance now. The format of trial balance is very simple. There are three columns. First column is particulars. So in particulars column, you'll be writing down all the names of the ledger accounts. Then you have debit column. So in debit column, you'll be reflecting all your debit balances. Then you have credit column. In the credit column, you'll be reflecting all the credit balances. But when you complete the preparation of your trial balance, one important thing that you have to remember is this debit balance must be equal to the credit balance. I'll repeat that. This debit balance must be equal to credit balance. Now, what exactly will fall on the debit side? On the debit side, you have assets and then you have expenses. So there are two categories of items that will usually come on the debit side of your trial balance. I'll repeat that. There are two important types of items that will come on the debit side of your trial balance. You have assets and then you have expenses. I'll repeat that. If you have, for example, if you're preparing a ledger account for asset, let's say land. Okay, so land's balance would be reflected on the debit side. If you're dealing with some expense, so for example, wages. So wages ledger account balance would be reflected on the debit side. So asset expenses gets reflected on the debit side. Then on the credit side, you will record your liabilities and your incomes. Okay, on the credit side, you will be recording your liabilities and your incomes. So credit side, you will be having your liabilities and your income. So debit side, it's assets and expenses. Credit side, you have your liabilities and your incomes. So at this point of time, there is an important mnemonic that I would like to leave you with for you to learn this easily. Okay, so remember debit side, it is assets and expenses. So remember AELI. Okay, AELI. So assets, expenses, liabilities, income. If you can remember this mnemonics, you can easily go about with the preparation of trial balance. So once again, this is how you will be preparing the trial balance. Trial balance is a summary of all the ledgers in a business. Your debit side reflects the assets and expenses. Credit side reflects your liabilities and your incomes.